Hey everybody, it is Tim Miner. I am really excited to do this extended piping hot batch of the Biscuit Blitz. I have two pizza legends today. One is Charlotte's own Chef Peter Reinhart, chef on assignment at Johnson & Wales University, and the genius behind Pizza Quest and a James Beard award-winning author at that. The man is Mr. Pizza, Mr. Bread. Peter, how you doing?
Hey, it's good to see you, Tim, as always.
Good to see you too. And then we have Scott Wiener. Scott, you are the founder of Scott's Pizza Tours. You are an author for Thrill List, and more importantly, the Guinness Book of World Records record holder for the world's largest collection of pizza boxes. I mean, that's the where we go with that. I can't even imagine today. It's good to see you.
It's wonderful to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. So where I want to start is, how did you guys become friends? Because one thing, it's worth noting that during COVID, there's been kind of a special edition of Pizza Quest, right? So now you weekly take a different pizza box and, pun intended, you break it down and talk about what makes it a notable pizza box. So first off, how did you guys meet? How did this friendship start?
Well, I remember, I don't know. I think this was probably the beginning Peter wrote a book called American Pie, My Search for the Perfect Pizza. And as a pizza lover and a pizza disciple, I read that book and it became, one of the most important books of my life. And I remember one day I just decided to email Peter and ask him some pizza advice. And he wrote a lovely reply. And I just thought, well, I can't get any better than this. And then a couple of years later, I guess we met in person. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I think it was during a Pizza Quest video shoot. I think we met in New York. And since then, it's every opportunity we get to see each other. I visited Peter in Charlotte. We meet up at the Pizza Expo when they have the trade show in Las Vegas. And there it is, friendship over bread and pizza.
That just sounds like the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, right. It was all we needed was the airplane and Ingrid Bergman. But we the thing is that Scott over the last 10, 15 years has probably become one of the most important influencers within the pizza community. The fellowship of pizza makers, of people in the pizza business, is pretty strong, and once a year there's this huge gathering in Vegas at Pizza Expo, and there's another gathering in Atlantic City, which is called the Pizza Pasta Northeast Expo, and those 2 times a year we always connect because he's usually leading panels and speaking, and I'm speaking and doing my own panels, and every time that he and I are talking, 20 people will come up to us, and I think they're coming up to say hi to me, and they're all coming up to say, Scott, I need a hug, give me a hug. Everybody knows Scott in the pizza world. He also writes articles for the pizza trade journals, and he's been on videos. His Thrillist TV series, which is called Really Dough, is hilarious, and it's funny, and there's like 30 episodes, and if you haven't seen it, you should go there. It's on Amazon Prime, it's on Thrillist. So he's all over the map with pizza, and has been to way more pizzerias than I have. I mean, I write about going on Pizza Quest. Scott lives Pizza Quest, and his pizza tours of New York City are legendary. So anyway, it was inevitable that we were going to connect and become friends. And every time I go to New York, we connect. He sometimes will orchestrate a small little mini tour. He took me on a Sicilian pizza tour of Brooklyn a couple of years ago. We hit, 7, 8 places in 4 or 5 hours. It was for pizza lovers. It's like bliss.
Doesn't get any better.
That sounds like a trip to Mecca. I have to say, Scott, like when I was reading up on you, I went to Scott's Pizza Tours, and scrolled and just kept scrolling at all the people that are tour guides. And my initial thought, because I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, was, wow, how do they do all that work? And then I started thinking about there's a different place to dive into pizza at every corner in New York, isn't there?
That's right. There's over 2,000 pizzerias, and they're not all doing the same thing.
That's just beautiful. Well, so how did you guys, you know, so first you had the friendship that was bound by mozzarella cheese, which I understand is like a perfect fixidant. But so when COVID hit, Peter was doing Pizza Quest. What kind of struck the match and said, you know what, we really need to do this spin-off show on pizza boxes?
Well, along came Zoom, right? And suddenly, you know, we could no longer go out and film new episodes with the video cameras because we were locked down. But Zoom made it possible for people to come to us. So I came up with the idea of kind of doing a whole interview show called Pizza Talk. And one of the very first guests that we had on was Scott. And in the midst of the interview that I was doing with Scott, and Scott basically is our man on the street. He tells us everything that's going on out there, like how many pizzerias are actually doing business, and we're one of the ones you can drive up to, the ones that are doing cafe style, you know, and he knows everything. And he's out on Instagram. If you follow him on his bicycle, he's taking you every day almost to some of the places to show you what's going on. So we thought that's a good place to start. And in the midst of it, we started talking about his box collection. And right there on that first interview, we came up with the idea of Pizza Box of the Week, because he has so many boxes, we'll never run out of material. He's got over 1,500 pizza boxes from all over the world. And so we started filming them, and we've already aired 11 weeks. We've got another one going up, you know, tomorrow. And every Saturday, a new one goes up. And we've got about 7 or 8 still in the can. And every couple of weeks, we get together and film 6 or 7 more. And we just got to keep them going for as long as people keep coming back.
Yeah, the pandemic can last forever, given the size of Scott's collection.
let's not let that be the thing that.
No, I'm not pinning it on you, man. I'm not. But if it means I get to eat more pizza, I'm probably okay with it. Scott, seriously, and this, you know, diverging a second from what Peter said, you've actually, I mean, obviously the work that you've done with the pizza tours and all your work, I mean, that helps small businesses and pizzerias do more business. And it sounds like just even getting on your bicycle and being the messenger of who's open, who's not, is kind of a really vital service that you're providing those guys right now. I mean, it's just, they're hit pretty hard, I would imagine.
A lot of the work that we do, besides being education for customers at pizzerias, it's also education for the pizzerias. So I find that when I'm buzzing around and visiting them, a lot of them are saying, oh, well, what's everybody else up to? Is anybody doing anything really interesting that we should think about? And it's great. They share information. Everybody's hurting right now. And so I feel like, since I can't run physical tours at the moment, the best thing I can do for the community of pizzerias, is to educate people about, well, what's going on? What are people doing? Where can you get a frozen sangria on a Tuesday afternoon and walk around Soho? Like, that's valuable.
You're like a pizza Sherpa at this point. Well, I guess virtual now, because you always have been. But yeah.
In addition, Tim, Scott started a nonprofit called Slice Out Hunger, and he arranges to have pizzas. He's raised money to buy pizzas, so the pizza makers don't give the pizzas away; they make them and are paid for them. But then Scott gets them to frontline medical workers, the people who are you know, saving their lives for us, and feeds them pizzas all over the country.
Wow. So are we doing that in Charlotte yet? I ought to know, but I don't.
We're doing it all over the country, all 50 states. The way it works is you go to our website, which is sliceouthunger.org, and you can put in a donation, or you can just tell us what hospital needs help. And then that goes to our team. We call up the hospital, confirm that they need the pizza, when they can get it. Then we find an independent pizzeria nearby that can deliver pizza cleanly, safely, wrapped slices if they need it, and we pay for it.
You know, we have around the Charlotte as creative offices, we have an expression when we're kind of need a little bit of extra oomph on a day that might be getting us down, is that creatives lead the way. And what I love about this is doors were closed to you, Scott, but your team jumped in and found creative solutions to help in big ways and small. That's really terrific. All right. Now, the question of the hour, though, is the pizza box. How did the love affair start? And did it start when you lived with your mother and father? Because my mother and father probably wouldn't be down with pizza boxes everywhere.
No, this started after I had left my parents' house, after college. And it was, you know what, I grew up in New Jersey, and all of our pizza boxes are those white cardboard boxes with the smudgy red printing. And the first time that I traveled to Israel, and noticed pizza boxes that were not red smudgy printing on white background. They were like yellow and blue and just all these crazy things. And like, forget about the fact that there's another language on the box and then there's a different drawing of a different mustachioed man. Everything about it was different.
Right.
And I saw that they would hang up the boxes on the wall to show their customers what the different sizes were. And so it was the first time that I ever saw the pizza box, instead of being horizontal, I saw it vertical. And it literally changed the way that I looked at the pizza box, no longer as a method of transporting a food, but suddenly as a piece of art. You know, can you imagine a beautiful painting horizontal? It's a different way you interact with it. So the pizza box to me became a work of art, and I just started collecting them when I saw interesting examples, and that grew into a little art show here, a little art show there. It became a book in 2013, and now it's a gigantic collection that I just can't even stop, even if I wanted to.
So how many pieces exactly do you have in the collection? I mean, do you know the exact number, or are we guessing right now?
Oh, I know exactly how many, because there is a pretty detailed spreadsheet and a photo archive. And right now there's 1,556 boxes in the collection, each unique, all from different places.
And,
Wow.
and every week you get to see another one, and Scott tells us the backstory of that box. Sometimes he knows about something about the artist who did it. Sometimes it's about the pizza place. And the interesting thing is, of course, none of those boxes have ever had a pizza in them, right, Scott? They're all,
That's true.
They're collected boxes that either people send to you or you find on your own. But you haven't been to every one of the pizzerias that are in your collection.
No, they're
No
usually
way.
given to me by other people. So this is why I'm like, Tim, so interested to talk to you about it, because like a creative collective of people can totally understand where I'm coming from. I feel like you're the only crew of people who won't initially think that I'm a hoarder for collecting this stuff, because really the idea of a pizza box is that it's just there to be thrown out eventually. But once you take something out of its original context and you save it, it's a piece of ephemera, and it becomes more interesting. And over time, you know, this collection has become even more interesting to me. And we start to see different examples of technology in the pizza box and artwork. And it's also a great way to show off these artists that have created works that are on pizza boxes, printed thousands of times, 10,000, sometimes millions, and they don't get credit for designing this pizza box art. And what I try to do with my book and with what I do on posting about these boxes on Instagram and with Peter on the show, it's all about giving the recognition where it never really existed.
Hey, Scott, do you have any boxes nearby that you could give us an example?
Hey guys, we are back for a second slice with our buddies Scott and Chef Peter Reinhart. We're having a great conversation about their new segment on Pizza Quest about pizza boxes and Scott's literal like world record holding pizza box collection, and bam, Zoom kind of came crashing down on us. So we're gonna take this as an opportunity to reheat the pizza or eat cold pizza, because that's a personal favorite of mine. I think the mark of truly great pizza is if it's ready cold the next morning.
I think the second place holder of the pizza box collection sabotaged our first transmission.
I think that's what it is. I think there was a lot of jealousy involved. All right, so to get the gray matter back and kind of jump back into the conversation, you guys are going to play a quiz with me. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go through a selection of slides, and I'm going to show you a fictional pizza box or pizza place, and you have to tell me the movie or television show that it came from. You guys think you're up for this challenge?
I think I'm up for it. I know Scott has got to be up for it, but
I'm very excited.
All right, here we go.
I love pizza challenges. I love this.
Okay. All my things are covered up. Yay, that's fun.
I know that at Pizza Expo last year, Scott quizzed me. We had a kind of a thing on the convention floor where he was challenging me with true and false type stuff like this.
All right, so here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, question number 1. Where does Hugalow's pizza come from?
I've got no idea.
I will give you a hint. It was filmed right here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Was
And
this
it's
the
about-
Jack Black? By any chance, a Jack Black movie?
It is not. It stars Will Ferrell.
Oh, that would be the
got
race
it.
car movie.
You got it. Talladega Nights.
Wow.
Talladega Nights. Yeah.
When he loses, good job, Peter. You're on the board, man. That's good. So when he Ricky Bobby loses his ride, he resorts to delivering pizzas for Hugalo's Pizza. All right.
Now Jack Black should have had that. He needed it for
That's true. All right. Alfredo's Pizza Cafe, not to be confused with Pizza by Alfredo.
This is from The Office.
You got it. Do you have one of these boxes, Scott?
I don't, but I would kill for it.
I think, well, it truly exists. So I think we can maybe work on getting you one of those. All right, here we go. Pizza Guy.
Oh, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Fast Times at Ridgemont
yeah.
High. Look at the classic, nothing on the box. It is a purely white pizza box.
They didn't want to have to pay any royalties to anybody, I guess.
They blew the entire budget on props screen printing the Pizza Guy t-shirt. I'm guessing.
Probably. I would love that T-shirt. Oh, man.
It's great
All
to
right,
see Ray
so-
Walston again, by the way.
Yeah, no, he was great in that role. All right, three for three. Keep it up, guys. Okay, now this one's deep cut. I don't have a picture of the box, but this gentleman is delivering pizza from Pedro's Pizza and Pancakes. You can pull it, Scott.
Is it Summer School?
Oh, he's in Summer School. That actor was in Summer School. This movie stars Emilio Estevez and Keith David is in here as well as Charlie Sheen, and they abduct this pizza guy.
Oh, man, this is... I'm
Wow.
already mad at myself because I know... Peter, you got anything?
The only Estevez movie I'm aware of is the one where he's the ice hockey coach.
Oh, it's not the Mighty Ducks. This
Not
is
Mighty
Men at Work.
Oh.
Lost 80s classic Men at Work.
Wow, never saw that film.
All right. Here we go. The Miniature Pizza Hut.
Oh. Back to the Future 2.
Back to the Future Part 2. It is.
Wow.
All right, that's 4 points. They have to rehydrate. Nobody rehydrates a pizza like Mom. Right? All right. Senor Pizza. This is Patrick Dempsey before he was McDreamy.
Yeah.
What a great box.
In a movie by Kirstie Alley and of all things, Telly Savalas. No, not Telly Savalas. Sorry, the guy who played Mel on Alice was on the show. Was in this movie.
Wow.
I think I'm at a loss here. Peter, you got this one.
All right, this is Loverboy.
Ah.
Loverboy.
And if I won't go into the plot details, I won't do any spoilers, but he gets paid extra if he delivers pizzas with extra anchovies. That's a code. That's a code for something. All right.
Yeah.
This is more recent. Goodfellas Pizza and Wings. And then it says ATL on it. So this movie takes place in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it's at a frat house.
He is going to a frat house.
What are some frat house movies?
Well, this is inconsequential. This movie is about he like Ricky Bobby is trying to go straight because he's a wheelman.
Oh.
I don't know it.
I got no idea.
All right, this is a movie called Baby Driver.
Oh, I didn't see that movie.
I know. I
now
heard
you gotta
it
correct
was
that
a great
immediately.
film. I heard it was a really good
It
film.
is a great. Just go. I'll tell you what. Do yourself a favor. Go online and watch the opening 4 minutes. And if you don't, because they released it before the film. If you don't like that, don't see the rest of the movie. But it's great. It's great. All right, come on. Here's a softball. Little Nero's Pizza.
I got it, but I'm gonna give Peter a second.
No.
Peter.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah, Peter, imagine you're left alone at home and burglars try to break in.
Oh, is this Home Alone?
Yes,
It
Peter
is
got
Home Alone. Nice. All
And
right.
it looks like they just cut out a piece of paper and glued it to the box.
Yep, you could see the edges on it. I think this might be a prop somebody made.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks like it.
during a cosplay thing.
I like
All right.
I like the quote.
Family Brothers Pizza. This has got another great quote. You've tried the rest. Now we're
Now
open.
we're open.
Now
Wow.
we're open.
What is this image? This is like a weird blocky digital image.
It is a cartoon. This is a cartoon show that takes place in the future.
Is it Futurama?
It is Futurama. This is a pizza place opened by aliens.
Cool.
But it comes out consistently on the top 10 lists of best fictional pizza places. So
wow.
All right. This pizza is best known for its airborne qualities. It's Venezia's New York style pizzeria, and it's famous in its medium for being thrown.
Is this and it's uncut in that box, which is this the one from Breaking Bad?
This is the pizza. This is the fictional pizza place from Breaking Bad that gets thrown on the roof.
Chucks it on the roof.
Very, very good. All right, and that is it. You guys really crushed on that.
Well,
I decided to be kind of mean. I wanted to really go deep.
You can see why he belongs in the Guinness Book of Records.
No, but I failed. I got a couple of ones wrong that I really should have got.
Now you have a list of movies that you can either watch for the first time or go back and rewatch with a different eye.
Loverboy and Baby Driver.
I have to say, it is cheesy, and it is probably, I haven't watched it since the Me Too movement, but Loverboy is a fun. I remember finding it very funny and love the concept of Senor Pizza, and they have to wear those terrible mustaches when they deliver the pizza and everything.
And one box that didn't make your quiz, but that Scott showed us in one of the early episodes of Pizza Box of the Week, is a box from the movie, the Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing.
Oh, I know. That's why it was deliberately omitted.
Yeah, so you saw it. Okay, good. Hey, Scott, somebody actually watched that episode. See?
You're the one who watched it.
I watched it like 15 times. That's like, it was.
You did good for our demographics.
You left a snarky comment every time he watched it.
That's right. Well, all right. So now that everybody's gray matter is warmed back up again, that was fun. Where we had left off, Scott, was really that your collection is not, people might think that this is like hoarding, but really it's just like an art collection. You've done, exhibitions. And I think I would ask, what is it, because there's such a sea of sameness, what in many pizza boxes, and there's that generic look, what sticks out to you about a truly great design on a pizza box?
I think those great designs are the ones that send the message to your brain immediately that it's like delicious hot pizza without relying on words. When there's so many words that say oven fresh, you've tried the rest, whatever, now we're open. I just feel like you don't, the box that says it without the words does it for me.
Do you feel like over the last couple of years, especially as pizza has really kind of exploded across the country, have you seen innovations? Now, I know we've seen innovations in box design, which we can get to in a second, which is really engineering. But from the artistic standpoint, do you feel like places are really bringing their A game more than they used to?
They are, and I think it's because it's a little cheaper to print boxes now than it was before, and you can do shorter runs. So you can do digital printing instead of flexographic printing, and you can do short runs like 200. So there's an incentive for artists to be contracted to like, hey, let's design this box so that we stick out. So we're supporting our community, supporting the arts, and I think that that's the way to differentiate. And it's super cool, especially because like pizza's kind of the new rock and roll. It's like all these like musicians and like rock bands start pizzerias, and then you see that artist musicianship transfer over into the food world. Like that's why celebrity chefs are so exciting, is that like they're different. Like Guy Fieri doesn't look like the chef from 20 years ago.
Right. Although I've heard it, had it from a reliable source that Anne Burrell stole her hairstyle from Peter from the 80s. A real flock of seagulls kind of thing he had going. Is there any truth to that rumor, Peter?
No, I thought maybe she stole it from Guy Fieri. Speaking of,
I think that's wise too, guys. In that this kind of new embracing food as an art form, but then also how it looks upon delivery, because Generation Z is probably going to be the most graphically designed, literate generation of all time. I mean, the sophistication, of what they consume and what they make on their phones. I think makes it so that pizzas, restaurants have to up their game because they're looking for something more than that. Kind of commercial art is an art form more and more, I think, as I can see with my daughters and millennials, they're getting that more than just the white, it was nothing to get a white pizza box during the days of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but I don't think that would fly today. What do you guys think about that? Peter, you look like you have
I think that the people's understanding of branding has taken huge leaps over the last 20 years, and realizing that everything is a billboard for your brand and your company. And a pizza box, what is a more perfect item to brand your product with than your box? It's just like having an ad out there. And if you can make it beautiful enough for people to hold on to them and collect them, then that you get extended, I would say, brand value out of it. So that's one factor. It's not the only factor. I just think that there's so many people doing graphic comic books and graphic everything. The graphics itself is a category that there's a lot of creativity happening. And then I think, for instance, in our Charlotte creatives community, we're seeing so many people in the graphics community doing, getting out of the box and doing some really neat things out there.
Yeah. Scott, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a huge incentive for things to be visually attractive, because it's not so much that our attention spans are getting shorter, but I just think that the amount of content out there is getting greater. So there's always that FOMO of, well, if I don't swipe enough and if I don't swipe fast enough, I'm not going to get to the thing that's interesting. Right. So, remember how it used to be that, okay, let's say that this amount of stuff was being created, but really access was limited and distribution was limited. Now access and distribution is wide open. So it's not really that there's more crap, there's just more of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stick out.
I think you're right too, in the sense that not only has we've got a nexus point of production being able to do it right and the economy being there, but also just then increased ability, right? I mean, we're probably on the precipice of a filmmaking revolution, because I never got to mess around with making films when I was a kid, but every kid carries around a film and TV studio in their pocket, and I would say the same thing with design and graphics is with programs like, Canva and other things like that, and apps. Everybody's getting in on the design game, putting overlaying text and filters and colors and learning how to do all that. And really, if we're being honest, food as well. We can argue about how many people actually cook along with the Food Network, but people certainly know more and are more adventurous, I think, than ever. So.
I'm willing to bet that more people are cooking at home because of Instagram than cooked at home because of the Food Network. Yeah,
you're probably right. I was thinking that was maybe the genesis, but then it's really gone crazy on social media. Yeah. And also, I mean, to your point, like knowledge of all the different kinds of pizzas that are out there, right? I mean, it used to be there was one. And now there's a million forms, or people assumed there was one. It was whatever your neighborhood pizza place was, and that was
right.
That was.
Well, if you want to see that in action, check out Scott's program, Really Dough, in which he visits, what is it, Scott, like 30 different pizzerias that make the most outrageous or outlandish pizzas, and you and your friend Mark argue over whether those are really pizzas or should they be called something else.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the ceiling is blown off in cooking and in design and in creativity in general.
I mean, a pizza made with a ramen noodle crust, for instance, falls outside the usual box, and it needs its own box, basically, if you're going to deliver it.
Wow. All right, I'm going to have to, that one I'm definitely checking out, and we all need to dive in. So if you watch Baby Driver and Loverboy, all of us will jump into to Really Dough. So when you've had your exhibitions, Scott, what are some of the reactions you've gotten from people that have seen the you were talking last time about taking it from a flat presentation to really showcasing the art on the top. What kind of reactions have you gotten from the people that have been part of those?
There's always surprise, because anytime you take something so common out of its common context and just put it in a different light, it's always a surprise. And it's always, oh, I never realized pizza boxes could look like that. Oh, I never realized there could be that kind of color. It's the pizza box is the thing that growing up. It's this kind of weird dogma that you just have in your brain. and you don't want to get away from. And then suddenly you see this splash of color, and it's very much like going from black and white to color.
Right. And I guess, as you've said, that joy that comes with it of seeing something commonplace in a different light. You know, it's you said it a minute ago, so much is at our fingertips. Truly being surprised and seeing something in a new way is getting a little bit more novel. And I think there's a real joy and love in that.
Yeah, that's
So
why I can't believe nobody else really collects pizza boxes.
I'm sure that there is a brotherhood. You just haven't encountered them.
You would think the internet is the place for us, and I can't find anybody else.
Your tribe of one. So to that end, where do they all live? Where do you keep all these boxes, and how have you cataloged them?
I've got a whole stockpile of them sitting here waiting to be cataloged.
Very nice.
But then I've got a whole closet of about 1,200 of them. And the way that they're cataloged is I have a reference number for each one, dimensions, tags, descriptions, all that stuff, the measurements, and then a photo of each box. So I have it pretty intensely archived, and then they're in a closet maybe about 20 feet away from me.
Have you made, is there a provision in your will about them being donated to the Smithsonian or to maybe MoMA when this is all over?
That's exactly right.
All right, that's cool. So we are running out of time here, but what's next? What are some of the innovations that you're seeing in pizza boxes that have you crooking your eyebrow, or really either excited or really, really not sure how it's going to go?
Peter and I talk about this a lot, which is the idea of a box preserving the integrity of the pizza, which has been overlooked for centuries. Usually the box actually is pretty detrimental to the quality of the pizza.
Right.
So, it traps the steam, then your pizza, it's made from recycled paper, and so your pizza ends up tasting kind of like cardboard. And there's new innovations that allow the steam to escape and that are compressed sugarcane fiber, so it's compostable, not using paper, and those would be great. It's just that it's going to take a while for them to catch on and to become really big. But now is the time, which is, now is the time that restaurant dining is at a low, delivery dining is at a high, and takeout, where you can sit out and eat at a table like here in New York City, you eat at tables on the street now, which we never had before. You can take over a parking spot and have a table there. And having disposable, like a pizza box that's compostable, would be a great solution for that.
I think the boxes that have made an impact recently are the ones that allow the pizza, the steam to vent out. And yet at the same time, there are heat absorbers within the box that will allow the pizza itself to stay hot.
Okay, so they keep preserving the heat, but wicking off the moisture, essentially getting the steam out so it doesn't make the pizza soggy.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And
then you can pull off your spatula
right.
and scoop it up.
That's right. Yeah, imagine being able to have like a perforated little pullout that will pull your slices out, so you never have to touch the pizza. So if you are eating with a bunch of people, you don't have to worry about somebody being afraid of the pizza that you touched.
That's pretty good, right? I think this is the time for the coloring box pizza. I think we need to drop the color and give parents another 15 minutes of peace while their kid colors the.
Have you ever seen one of those, Scott? Is there one of those in existence?
Yeah, I've got a few of them where there's games on the back, or you color things in. But I totally agree. Brilliant. Just give me a blank box, one color printing, just black printing, and then color it in. Brilliant.
All right. Well, it's a free one. Well, guys, this was a ton of fun. Let's catch up again in a couple of months, see what's going on. I'm with you. I think, Scott, this is the time for people to recognize the art in everything. When you get a pizza box, regardless of how many were made, somebody sat down at some point to design that box, and they put their love, their talent, and their 10,000 hours into that art. And it's awesome that you're recognizing that. And also, it's amazing the work that both of you guys are doing to really think about restaurants in a different way right now, so that A, they can survive, and B, they can help other people. And I hope you guys both keep doing that.
All this talk about Scott's collection makes me wonder if my old bottle cap collection is still in my mom's basement somewhere. I've got to go dig it out. I think I may have the world record of bottle caps. I don't know, but
Wow.
But I've got to find it. I mean, that was a long time ago.
I thought you were going to say that you collect the sleeves that fresh bread comes in, Peter, because that seems like that would also be up your
That would be a worthy pursuit as well.
You can get that a lot flatter than Scott can get his, he can get his boxes.
That sounds like a way better collection than this.
Gentlemen, this was a ton of fun. You guys both be good. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks for having us, Tim.